A gCADPlus user based in the Midwest of the USA is in the process of developing a master plan for the development of a semi-rural site. It has an access road like this one and house and so on. He has a list of suitable species, suitable native species for the area, but that list is in the form of a spreadsheet file, and he wants to know if it's possible to convert his list in a spreadsheet into a form that gCADPlus can use. If we go back to the model here and we say gCADPlus and edit the plant list, this is the list that's attached to this particular drawing. It's quite long and it consists of botanical name, common name, type, and a code. And what we want to do now is see if we can pick up his existing spreadsheet and turn it into a form that loads with gCADPlus. The form of this file is a very simple file. It's just as a tab delimited CSV file, which means it's a very common file type in spreadsheets. And as long as we have the botanical name, common name, type, codes, and so on in the correct order, we'll be able to use it to automatically generate plant lists, which I'm sure is what he's interested in. But at the moment, how do we take information that exists in a spreadsheet and put it into this form? These files are known as GCP files. It is possible to generate a GCP file from scratch. You just go to Tools and create a GCP file here, and if I click on it, it's currently going to this one. It picks up the existing one, but if we remove that, then let's do that. We'll say gCADPlus, remove the current GCP file, say yes. There's not one there now, and so now under Tools and Create a GCP file, we're given a blank file, but I think you can see it's going to be very tedious to retype that information. So the point of this little story is, how can we do that and generate a file that will be used for us? Well, let's imagine that our user is holding his spreadsheet data in LibreCalc. You could be any other simple spreadsheet applications, Excel, and Google has one, and so on. But a quick look told us that the file should be a tab separated file, and it gives me a sample, and it also gives me a macro to help me automate. We are told to set it up as a tab separated text file, then rename the extension and give it the extension GCP. So this is very handy. I can simply copy that into LibreOffice Calc and run it, and that should generate a GCP file for us, which we can load straight into the gCADPlus environment. So it's not terribly difficult to do that, but handy to have a macro or a small program that can run it for you. So here is the information that we're interested in. It's held in a LibreCalc spreadsheet. I've activated the macro name there, and I've created one using that code that we were given. If I edit it, here's the code that I copied, so nothing clever from my end, but let's activate the macros again, and we've selected one, and I've called it export GCP file, and we'll run it. It now pops out, goes to my local disk, and I've obviously rehearsed it, so we'll call this one exported file 02, and we'll save it. So we can now move to gCADPlus and test how well that GCP file works. Well, here is our test file. A design is being developed for the entrance to a semi-rural property, and what I want to illustrate is that our designer has gone to the gCADPlus drop-down and has attached a GCP file, and now we can edit it. Notice that if you look right at the bottom of the screen here, that file we exported was called exported GCP file 02, so its name appears in that status line in the gCADPlus environment. So it's a spreadsheet. It's now in a spreadsheet format, and we can do some interesting work with it. We can sort quite easily by just clicking on botanical name. That sorts from V downwards. Sort in the other direction. The same thing we can sort with the common name as well. The one I'm interested in here is type, so I can just keep clicking. So here I've got all of my trees and shrubs all organized. So if I wanted to add a new shrub, let's cancel from there. We'll come over. I've just imported one of the group symbols in the library. I don't want that one, that's a quercus. Let's imagine this one I'm clicking on here, making sure that nothing's been assigned yet. So let's imagine that we'll make a copy of this plant here and we'll pop it there. Imagine we can just look for a relatively large shrub, so we'll scale it. Just do this by eye and then move out like so. I've got an object snap running, so I'll just take that one off because that'll distract us. So notice how these other symbols here, if I click on it, those symbols there are tagged to an entry in the plant database file. There's the quercus that we were talking about. Here is the American hazelnut, and this one here is a Kentucky coffee tree. All of that information comes directly from that plant list, and we can search within it, find the word coffee, and there's the Kentucky coffee tree. So if you know the botanical name of something you want, you can find it very, very easily. But let's just see if we can click it. gCADPlus, we're going to set data to a plant. We're going to stretch this out a little. We'll organize our types and we'll come down here. We're looking for a shrub that we haven't used before. Let's imagine that it's a rus or rus, depending on your pronunciation. So we've set it now and then cancel. So when I select the symbol now, it's a rus, and I can now apply the gCADPlus Smart Label tool, which gives you some prompts. Select the symbol or adjacent copies if you want. Let's imagine that we've made 3 copies. Copy one of them there and there. We'll vary the size just a little by scaling it. And now let's add the Smart Label tool again. Select a symbol or adjacent copies. So we'll pick that one, and that one. They're copies of the same symbol. Hit enter for the next step. I'm just reading the prompt on the screen. We're going to go to leader, and the point of, we'll label it here, and we move away. We're going to put it over there somewhere. My color's red at the moment. And do we want to pick up the code? Yes, we do. Do we want to pick up the botanical name? Yes. Do we want to pick up the common name? No, not for the moment. Do I want to pick up the count? Well, yes, I do. And we're done. So I'll just return the color there to by layer, and now it matches the ones above, except that it's got a label 3, the code, which we can automatically stamp on all of these if we need it, and then the Rus Glabra is showing. So can you see we had it in a spreadsheet format, we converted that into a form that gCADPlus understands, which is just a tab separated version of a spreadsheet. Now we can get in there and we're able to use that spreadsheet information now in the database that's built into gCADPlus, and that enables us to select plants, to tag them, label them, and so on, and be consistent. So the drawing is now taking shape.